The apartment upstairs, I had lived in the same apartment for 8 years. Not because I loved it. It was small, the pipes clanked in winter, and the elevator groaned like it was trying to die. But it was mine. Or rather, it was familiar. My neighbors rarely changed. Mrs. Levington still fed stray cats in the courtyard. The young couple in 4B still fought loudly once a week. And the apartment above mine, 5A, had been empty for as long as I could remember, until it wasn't. The first time I noticed, it was footsteps, not at 2 p.m., when someone might be cleaning. At 3:17 a.m., soft, slow steps, a pause, then more. The second night, muffled music, something classical, a piano maybe, but distorted, like it came from a broken radio. By the fifth night, I was sure someone had moved into 5A. Curiosity got the better of me. On Saturday morning, I made an excuse to take the stairs. I stopped on the fifth floor, pretending to check my phone. The door to 5A was closed, dark wood, slightly scratched. There was no name on the buzzer. Days passed. I never saw anyone enter or leave, but I kept hearing sounds. Shuffling, water running, once, laughter. One evening, coming home with groceries, I found a small envelope on my doormat. No name, just, to you, downstairs. I opened it. Inside was a note. Neat handwriting. Hello. I apologize for the late night noise. The floorboards are old. I tend to pace when I can't sleep. Thank you for your patience. No signature. I should have let it go. But now it felt personal, so I wrote back. Just a small card. Thank you for the note. No worries about the sound. I'm just curious. We've never had anyone upstairs before. Welcome. I slipped it under the door the next morning. There was no reply. Weeks passed. The sounds continued. Soft music, pacing, once the clink of glass. Then one evening, another envelope appeared. Thank you. I prefer to stay quiet. I'm not used to neighbors, but it's nice to know someone is listening. I smiled. Somehow, it felt like we were talking, without meeting. This went on for months. I learned she loved Chopin, that she painted, but never finished anything, that she had once lived near the sea. I never asked for more than she offered. She never asked about me. Still, I began to look forward to the envelopes, until they stopped. A week, then two. No footsteps, no music, nothing. I waited. I hesitated. Then one Sunday morning, I climbed the stairs and knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still nothing. I felt foolish. Maybe she left. Maybe she was never there. That night, a letter appeared on my doormat. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to worry you. I needed time. Thank you for noticing. You are kinder than most people I've met. I didn't know what had happened, but I knew what I wanted to say. If you ever want tea, I'm downstairs. No pressure. Just, it would be nice. I waited a week, then another. No reply. Life went on. I stopped expecting letters. I stopped listening for the music. Then one afternoon, as I unlocked my door, I saw a small package leaning against it. Inside, a book, a novel I once mentioned in passing in one of my notes. Tucked inside was a bookmark, handmade, watercolor. On the back, one line, maybe someday. I smiled, and that night I put on some Chopin, The Bench in the Park. I don't remember when I started coming to the park every Saturday. Maybe it was after the promotion, or after the breakup, or after I simply ran out of things to distract myself. The park wasn't special, a few benches, some old trees, a fountain that sometimes worked, but it was quiet. And for a city like mine, quiet is a rare kind of gold. I always sat on the same bench, the one near the duck pond, with peeling green paint and initials carved into the wood. It was there I first saw her. She sat 2 benches away, brown coat, notebook in hand. She looked up occasionally as if checking to make sure the world still existed. We didn't talk, not for weeks, but she was always there. Same time, same spot, writing something only she could read. One day I nodded. She smiled. That was it. The next Saturday I brought coffee. 2 cups. I held one out. She hesitated, then took it. Thanks. We didn't talk much. She wrote. I watched ducks. But we sat together. Her name was Mira. She was a copy editor, freelance, moved a lot, said she liked places with benches and not too many people. I told her I worked in an office that didn't have windows. She laughed. Over months, we built a rhythm: coffee, silence, then conversations. Short at first, safe topics, books, weather, how the fountain never worked right. Once she said, "You're the first person I've talked to this often in years." I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. She didn't mind. One day she wasn't there. Not on Saturday, not the next week. I came anyway, with coffee. After 3 weeks, I stopped bringing the second cup, but I still sat on our bench. A month later, I found an envelope under the bench. My name, in her handwriting. Inside, "I'm sorry. Life pulled me away again, but thank you. For the bench, for the coffee, for reminding me people can be kind without asking for anything back." No return address, just that. I never saw her again, but I still go every Saturday. Sometimes I bring 2 coffees, just in case. Letters to Lena. The first letter wasn't meant to be read. I wrote it after a long day. Just words on paper, thoughts I couldn't say out loud. I didn't sign it. I didn't plan to send it. I just folded it and placed it between pages of a book I never finished. And yet it changed everything. I lived alone in a quiet building where neighbors nodded politely and quickly closed their doors. No drama, no connection, just the comfort of distance. Then came Lena. She moved into the apartment next to mine. Small suitcase, big laugh. The hallway suddenly sounded alive. She introduced herself with cookies, real ones, still warm. "I'm Lena. I bake when I'm anxious." I smiled. "Then I hope you stay anxious." She laughed like I told the best joke in the world. Over time, we talked. First in passing, then in doorways, then over tea. She told stories that made even rainy Tuesdays feel golden. I mostly listened. She called me Mr. Quiet. I called her Hurricane. She said I needed a little shaking up. Maybe she was right. And then one day, she was gone. A note on her door. "Emergency back home. Don't know how long. Sorry." The hallway went quiet again. I didn't know where she went, or if she'd come back. But I missed her voice, her cookies, her chaos. So I wrote. One letter, then another. Stories, thoughts, things I never said out loud. I didn't send them. I folded each and left them in the book. Months passed. One day I came home, and the door next to mine was open. Lights on, laughter. She was back. I didn't know what to say, so I handed her the book. "Start with page 47. She looked confused, then curious. She read. She smiled, then cried. "I didn't know you missed me that much," she said softly. I shrugged. I didn't know either, until I wrote it. She read one letter a day, and every day she left one of her own. Sometimes funny, sometimes sad, sometimes just a drawing. We never called it anything, but it became our thing. We still live next door, still bake, still write. Even when we talk for hours, we write, because some words need paper first.